Hey, Gateway family, and thank you for joining us for a little live stream tonight. We thought we'd just offer a little encouragement for our Gateway family tonight.
Yeah.
So, first thing is, because I know some of you are going to be very worried about Stephen, and you've seen him drive, and you're probably worried about him being able to get back home. It's not really a live stream. We're pre-recording this so that we will be back home and not out in the weather as well. But
if
yes,
we did get snowed in, there's futons up here in the youth area.
That is true.
That I think we could make it work.
You figured those things out, haven't you? So
I found I can use all my napping areas.
There you go. So Stephen, before we jump into the real content, I just have to know what's a good snow day look like for you?
Oh man, I think
tomorrow.
I grew up in Kentucky and Montana, so we had it wasn't snow days. It was like snow 3/4 of the year.
And they didn't shut down the entire world when it snowed outside.
The school buses had snow plows.
Yeah.
There was no shutting down school. It was crazy. But now that I have kids, snow days, the first snow day ever was last year that I ever got to experience with children. And that was just a game changer to go build snowman. And, we try to jump on the trampoline with all that snow on it, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
Building a fort for the first time, that was a blast.
That's fun. So I got to tell y'all what we did on what the rest of the story is on that snow day. Is we woke up and there's all this cool snow and both of my girls are away at school. So I called Stephen and I said, you've got to bring your kids over because I must have children to play with in the snow. So they came over and I had snowballs ready for them and we had all kinds of fun.
Yeah. Can you tell them what our sleds were? Do you remember?
Were they the cooking pans?
Cooking pans and old Gateway yard signs.
Oh, I forgot about the old Gateway yard signs. That's true. So yes, we had all kinds of fun at the snow day. But we do hate, and we want to be on the safe side tonight and make sure that people do stay safe. But I did find a lot of irony in the fact that we started out this new year talking about better together, and we're excited about being better together. So as a result, we decided to close the church so nobody could be together.
I'm telling you, that's what I've had so much anxiety today about whether we should cancel church or not. And it's I grew up in environments where you don't cancel, snow doesn't get away. But I know this is a different environment and wanting to keep everybody safe. But it was just a pit in my stomach. We're talking better together, and one of our first official acts is canceling church on a Wednesday night.
There you go. Well, we don't know what we're doing on the bad roads here too. That's a bit of a problem. So
Texans.
But I do want to just share, kind of hear from you a little bit this whole theme of being better together and really just kind of how we see God working. I think that's encouraging to me to hear what God is up to. And so, what do you see as far as God bringing people together so far this year?
I think just we've wrapped up January, the first month of the year, and we've had Connect Sunday. And, over the past several weeks, I've had meetings with new people in our church, getting them plugged into Connect groups or regeneration or reengage or whatever discipleship, men's and women's. And just being able to provide that pathway for new folks has been so encouraging. And that I can authentically say, you're going to meet some really great friends. No matter what you do, you're going to meet some great people. And that's been encouraging. But then I'm also meeting with leaders in all those ministries. And I can't tell you just the amount of emails that I get of just, I loved hanging out, or we enjoyed, even though we're talking shop and talking business, it was just a great evening. And that's something that's always been a part of this church, is just people loving to be together.
Yeah. And
just seeing that exemplified in an environment right now where it's not really easy all the time to be together.
Right. That's true.
But I think it got me personally to a place where I don't take that for granted anymore. When somebody's offering encouragement about enjoying spending time with me, it means more than I think it's ever meant before.
Yeah, absolutely. And what scripturally, I know we've looked at a lot of different places and things like that, but as far as just some real encouragement for the importance of that being together, what comes to mind most for you?
Well, and I talked about this with our staff at staff meeting on Tuesday, of just the importance of offering encouragement. And I think the reason why that has been so important to me recently is because I've had people offering me encouragement a lot lately. And I feel like I've needed it, of just having to navigate COVID and navigate the different events that we have. And do we push men's ministry back a couple of weeks and all those things? And in the midst of all that craziness, it's never failed somebody coming. It's I just want to thank you for what you do, or here's
Yeah.
encouragement for this, or
Yeah.
your family's this to us. And like, I've just been getting a whole lot of encouragement. So even in a season this past month that's been busy, it's been so great because it's been busy with the people that I love more than anything up
Right.
here at the church.
Yeah.
But I've been offered encouragement. It was a reminder for me to give encouragement.
Yeah.
And this is a great opportunity to do that. It's like, it doesn't often happen where we can approach the entire church together.
Right.
And today, I want my church to know I love them and I love being with them. And that's why it's hard to figure out whether you should cancel, because I wanted to be here tonight.
Right.
Like, this is
Yeah.
where I wanted to be more than
Yeah,
anything.
that's a good thing. Yeah, and I just think about, you shared this actually in staff meeting, but it's one of my favorite scripture passages, which I feel like Judd, saying that over and over again, but I agree with him. But in Hebrews 10:23, it says, let us hold unswervingly to the faith we profess, for he who promised is faithful, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. But that idea of spurring one another on toward love and good deeds, I mean, that's a gift that God gives us to be able to do that. You do that incredibly well, and you talk about encouragement. You model that very, very well. But to be able to encourage each other and to spur one another on, that's a big deal. So.
Yeah, I love that. And it goes on, it says, to not neglect to meet together as it is a habit of some, but encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near.
Right.
And so as each day draws near, the closer we are to the Lord, and we encourage each other to continue on fighting and going on for our faith. I think it's such an important thing. And the thing that I love is I get to do this with people, and with you, and with Judd, and with all these people that are watching right now. When it says to spur each other on, we get to witness that on a daily basis, and what that really means. And encouragement goes a long way with that.
It does. It does, absolutely. And it's just been encouraging to me to see a lot of the same things that you're seeing, how people are connecting, and especially what I love, and you touched on this, people that are a little bit newer to our church are really beginning to form those connections more quickly. I see them getting involved in groups and ministries and things more quickly than they have in the past. And that's been encouraging. We've been able to be a part. We multiplied our Connect group just last night, actually, and started a new group. And there were 6 of us that kind of broke off and decided we're going to start something new. We had 5 new people join us for the very first week this week, and we're hoping to continue building that. But just to see those relationships starting to form, where a lot of these people had never met each other before, and you're up here, and there's a lot of laughing and people just having a good time, but then started just opening up and, I mean, sharing just very, very vulnerable kinds of things, and just from day one. And that kind of stuff's encouraging to me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is, too, of just creating an environment where that's the norm. And you start, for me, I get to see, I'm not involved in every single Connect group, but I popped in yesterday, and I get to see that. And get to see that clear across the board. I had a Connect group leader meeting with some leaders of a Connect group on Sunday night, and it was so encouraging to just see the back and forth and the laughter, but also just a very focused, like, here's what we need to do for our group, and here's what will make us be able to love our people better, and just being able to witness it over and over and over again is so encouraging, because you get to see Scripture lived out, and that is just always a huge encouragement for me.
Absolutely. And I just want to encourage that for our whole Gateway family, is to continue to pursue that, continue to seek out opportunities to connect and to build relationships across the board. I mean, we talked about our adults. We see that happening with our students, which just, they tend to be very social creatures anyway. I know that we have our Disciple Now coming up here. I think it's 17th, 18th? I wrote it down somewhere, and not on this piece of paper, but it is coming out. I think it's the 17th through the 19th, if I got my Sundays right. But that'll be coming up. That's an opportunity where kids can spend a lot of time together and connect with one another. I know our kids have opportunities to do that on a regular basis. In fact, I think we have something for the kids at the end of this podcast, don't we?
Yeah, we have a little kids club
special
video, so your kids will be able to be a part of this. We want this to be a family time tonight. So just real quickly, you can listen to us for a little bit. I encourage y'all to go to the Next Step page of our website too, just to see all the things that are going on. You can get information about Disciple Now and over the past couple weeks, I've had the opportunity to preach to the students and just see that community continue to grow and just see how much those students love each other. And if you haven't signed up for D-Now yet, please go sign up for D-Now. And then last week I was down with our 5th and 6th graders, and I got to see how great of a job Stephanie's been doing and seeing that community build and just how sharp those kids are and the ability they have to share their faith already at such a young age was so encouraging. And so there's a lot of great things going on all over our church, in homes and here on Sunday mornings and on Wednesday nights. It's just really, really a neat time. And I never get this opportunity, but in 3 straight weeks, I've been with the men of our church. I've been with the youth of our church. I've been with the children of our church, and getting to see all that, like it's been a neat several weeks for me.
It has. Good stuff. Well, we want to encourage you as a family or as an individual, whichever the case may be, but man, just look for those opportunities to connect, certainly with one another, but with the rest of your church family. And we got a little something fun that we're going to do tomorrow.
Yes.
So we know a lot of people are probably going to be inside tomorrow, or at least at home tomorrow, because of the weather. I know a lot of schools already been canceled and some other things like that. So here's what we want you to do. We want you to take a picture of what it looks like for you, what your snow date is. That could be outside in the snow. It could be inside under a blanket, whatever it is. And then hashtag it with Gateway Snow Day. And we're going to have a giveaway on Sunday. So we'll have a little fun with that and look forward to seeing some of those pictures that come.
Yeah, so we'll look through those pictures and we'll randomize numbers and we'll do a drawing and we'll give away a prize at each service on Sunday.
Perfect.
To somebody that has submitted those things. I'm excited to see, I know what our snow days look like in the Paula house.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the rest of the families in Gateway snow days look like.
Me too. That'll be fun. So, well, Gateway family, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. Sorry that we didn't have the opportunity to be together in person tonight, but it's good to be able to be together this way. I agree with what you say. I love our church family. We love y'all so much and are so thankful for you and thankful that we get to do life together. And certainly we are better together, and that's because of you. So thank you.
Yep. Enjoy the Kids Club video.
Well, hello there. I am so glad we're all here together at Gateway Kids. And this month, we're finding out what it means to dig deep and search for wisdom. Wisdom is finding out what you should do and doing it. When you're looking for wisdom, adventure awaits. But you don't just need wisdom when you explore a secret cave and search for priceless artifacts. You need wisdom on regular days too. You need God's wisdom to know how to live His way, which is always the very best way. Today's story will help us understand why wisdom is so important in the first place. I mean, after all, it comes from our relationship with God. And before we get to our story, let's get ready to worship. You probably know by now that this is one of my favorite times all week. It's time for us to lift our voices and worship our amazing God together. I don't want to hold anything back. I want all that, and I'm every moment, every beat of my heart to declare His praises. So, hey, let's sing and celebrate now.
Before the day I took a breath, you had a plan for my every step. You promised to always be by my side. I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light. So I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good in everything that you do. And I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. what's right the way you do. You're teaching me to take a stand and live for you, 'cause I believe that you are the way, you are the truth, you are the light, so I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good in everything that you do, and I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. Even in the moments I feel alone, I know I can trust that you're working and holding my world in your hands. You are the way, you are the truth, you are the life, so I sing this to you. You keep your promises every day. I will believe in everything that you say. Yeah, in the dark I know you're making a way. Jesus, I will trust you. You're always good in everything that you do, and I know everything that you say is true. And every moment you are leading me through. Jesus, I will trust you.
Yes, it's so good to praise God with all of you. I'm excited because we have a new song to sing today. It's called I Run to You. And whenever you don't know what to do, we can always turn to God. He loves us so much. He never lets us down. As you catch on to this song, sing along with us and make these words your prayer today.
Whenever I need some answers, God, I turn to you. You are my help when I need wisdom. You always see me through. To know that you're chasing after me, it makes me wanna run to where you are. God, you make this journey worth it. I give you all my heart. When I don't know what to do, you help me figure it out. God, I run to you. When I need a solution, I have no doubt that I will run to you. I run to you. You. I run to you. I run to you. You. I run to you. Wherever there is freedom, I know that's where you'll be. You make me want to do what's right and be the best version of me. To know that you're chasing after me, it makes me want to run to where you are. God, you make this journey worth it. I give you all my heart. When I don't know what to do, you help me figure it out. God, I run to you. When I need a solution, I have no doubt that I will run to you. I run to you. You. I run to you. I run to you. You. I run to you. I don't wanna stop living for you, for you. I don't wanna stop running to you, God. I don't wanna stop living for you, for you. I don't wanna stop running to you, God. You're all I need, my source for everything. When I don't know what to do, you help me figure it out. I I run to you. When I need a solution, I have no doubt that I will run to you. When I don't know what to do, you help me figure it out. God, I run to you. When I need a solution, I have no doubt that I will run to you. I run to you. I run to you. I run to you. I run to you.
Wow, that's a great job, everyone. Now, go ahead and have a seat. Sit down. Okay. Now, listen to what David wrote to God in Psalm 51:10. He wrote, God, create a pure heart in me. Give me a new spirit that is faithful to you. Let him fill your thoughts with the wisdom that only he can give. Now, let's turn our attention to our video.
Hello, adventurers! It's me, Haley, or as I am known in treasure hunting circles, Arizona Haley. Or just Haley is fine. That's also fine. Today, we're hunting for treasure. Not just any treasure, mind you. The treasure of wisdom. Wisdom is finding out what you should do and doing it. Now, you may be thinking, wisdom doesn't sound like much of a treasure, but treasure can come in all shapes and sizes. Like this piece of pottery. It doesn't look like much, but if you look closer, closest, there. If I had to guess, I'd say this artifact is probably a few thousand years old. Phoenician, probably. These markings suggest that this pot could be of Carthaginian origin. Some archaeologists had to travel a long way to find this fragment. Who can say how much this piece is worth? I'm thinking 14, 15, $7.49. It looks like our archaeologist friend didn't have to travel so far after all. You see, you can find treasure anywhere. You can find it halfway across the world. Or you can find it at Frank's Pottery Emporium. Wisdom can be like that. For some wisdom, you may have to dig really deep or travel really far. But other times, like in today's story, wisdom is closer than you think. Ooh, I wonder what era this is from. Oh, this is just my coffee. Now that's what I call treasure. I'll see you soon when I am much more caffeinated. Bye.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Luke, chapter 2, verses 41 through 52.
When God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to earth, angels shouted the good news.
Fear not, I bring you good news of great joy.
Shepherds and wise men journeyed to visit Jesus, and later, Mary and Joseph hurried to Egypt with their young son to keep him safe from King Herod. But Jesus wasn't always a baby or a young child. We don't know much about his early years, but he had to learn to walk and talk just like every other child.
Mama.
He probably learned from Joseph how to hammer nails and smooth pieces of wood for tables and wheels. We do know one very important story from the time Jesus was a boy. One of Jesus' followers, Luke, wrote it down many years later. He begins, every year Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the Passover feast. And when Jesus was 12 years old, they went up to the feast as usual.
Lentils, water skins, extra sandal straps. Jesus, run and tell your father we're packed and ready to leave.
Yes, Mother.
The trip from their home in Nazareth to Jerusalem took several days. Friends and family traveled together. Jesus likely spent the day with his cousins and friends, finding his parents at dinner time.
I brought sticks for the fire.
I'll start this stew.
We should reach Jerusalem by noon tomorrow.
We don't know what Jesus thought or felt when he saw the city of Jerusalem perched on the rocky hillside ahead. Years later, he would enter the city to the shouts of cheering crowds. But for now, Jesus was just a boy celebrating Passover with his family.
You remember where your cousins live, right?
We're staying with them again.
I can find it.
All week, families celebrated with relatives. Together, they enjoyed the Passover feast.
You, O Lord our God, have given us festival days for joy, in remembrance of the departure from Egypt. Blessed are you, O Lord our God.
When the feast was over, Mary and Joseph packed and began their trip home along the crowded roads. At the end of the day, they stopped to set up camp.
Jesus, can you start the cooking fire? Jesus?
I thought I saw him with... No, that was before we left the city.
Mary and Joseph searched through the nearby families, settling down for the evening.
Have you seen Jesus?
Not since he gave me the last potato pancake yesterday evening.
No one's seen him.
Since Jerusalem.
We left him in the city.
Frantic, Mary and Joseph hurried back to Jerusalem to search for their missing son. They immediately checked the home where they had been staying.
Very sorry, but I haven't seen him.
Mary and Joseph crisscrossed the entire city.
He loved the honey cakes from that bakery. Excuse me, have you seen a 12-year-old boy about this tall?
Dark brown robe.
Hair kinda sticks out over his ears.
Yes, like that.
Sorry, haven't seen him.
They may have checked the swimming hole or the stables, but Jesus was nowhere to be found. So Mary and Joseph paced the streets at wit's end.
He's just never gone off like this.
I don't think he's here. We've searched the whole city.
Everywhere except...
As Mary and Joseph turned the corner, high white walls rose ahead of them.
The temple! We'll check the courtyard.
Just in case.
The courtyard was filled with visitors still in the city for Passover. As they circled the open space, Mary froze.
Joseph, there!
Just ahead, they saw their son. Jesus was sitting with a group of teachers, listening and asking questions.
Teacher, isn't it always right to be kind, even if it means giving money to a beggar on the Sabbath?
The teachers nodded in agreement and amazement, but Mary and Joseph rushed forward.
Jesus!
Son, why have you treated us like this?
Grabbing her boy, Mary hugged Jesus so hard she nearly squeezed the air out of him.
Your father and I have been worried about you. We've been looking for you everywhere.
Why were you looking for me? Didn't you know I had to be in my father's house?
All I know is, no more stunts like this, okay?
Jesus returned to Nazareth with his parents, obeying everything they asked of him. As he grew wiser and stronger. He also became more and more pleasing to God and to others.
You want to know why wisdom is such a treasure? Because we have so many choices to make in our lives. Wisdom can help us know what to do and when to do it, what to say and how to say it, where to go, who to hang out with, all the choices. Wisdom is a very valuable treasure. So, where do we find wisdom? When Mary and Joseph were searching all over for Jesus, they found him in the temple asking questions and listening to wisdom from the teachers. So maybe we can search for wisdom from our church leaders. We can tell them how we're feeling and ask them questions when we're not sure of something. Or maybe we can search for wisdom from someone in our family. Your family probably knows you better than anyone, and they can help you make tough decisions in a way that no one else can. And there's another place that we can search for wisdom. is full of God's wisdom. Maybe you have one that looks like this. Or maybe you can find a Bible app on someone's phone, and then you should take some time to read it. Or have someone read it to you. Some people spend their lives searching for wisdom in the Bible. That's because wisdom is worth searching for. That's the one thing to remember today. Wisdom is worth searching for. Travel the world if you can, or look in your own home. But keep searching for wisdom. Valuable treasure awaits! Like this Etruscan urn shard. Ah! Hopefully that wasn't too valuable. Well, I will see you next time on our next adventure. I really hope we have some Etruscan glue.
Wow, I think it's amazing that even Jesus grew in wisdom. He stayed behind at the temple to ask questions and talk about God with all the teachers. Now, it's really important for us to grow in our wisdom too. Remember our bottom line for today. Wisdom is worth searching for. Wisdom is kind of like a treasure. It can help us make all kinds of decisions in life. And we can find wisdom in our relationship with God. We can talk to Him and ask for wisdom. We can talk to other people who follow God too, like our families and our leaders here at church. We can look in the Bible and we can find wisdom from people who put their trust in God all throughout history. Now, our memory verse for this month is a great reminder of where wisdom comes from. It's from a letter written by James, who was Jesus' brother. And here it is. Here's our memory verse. If any of you needs wisdom, you should ask God for it. He will give it to you. God gives freely to everyone and doesn't find fault. And that's in James 1:5. Now, don't forget, we can trust God no matter what. He can give us the wisdom that we need to face any situation in our life. So let's head out to our small groups and let's talk about how we can grow in our wisdom.